Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So, this is going to be a collective message, and we shall see what we've got here. I feel like I want to start out with a big, serious deck, big, serious message. High Priestess. Okay, so now I wish I had just gone ahead and said what was in my head because I was going to say, I feel like there's something that needs to be either like energetically conveyed or like somebody has got this. I almost am going to say it, but I'm not. We just did a today's topic video, and it had much to do with a feminine sending out like an energetic message, and maybe that was incomplete. Maybe this is kind of like the other part of that. Maybe I'm still like picking up that storyline a little bit. So I don't know, but you might want to catch the today's topic for the 11th that I just put out. With the High Priestess, we have got the King of Cups, and we have the Seven of Wands sideways. She holds this dynamic blueprint of kind of this tree of life. And the High Priestess is the energy of the divine feminine. Doesn't mean that it has to be a feminine, but we do have a feminine who is like, I'm looking at the blueprints of life and I'm saying, I believe I'm supposed to be with a King of Cups. And I don't see any reason that that isn't happening. Now, this could be she's getting this moment of clarity in what her future looks like. And there really isn't anything. I don't even know that I would say that it's like a deja vu moment or anything. We do have the elephant, which could make me think that maybe she's meeting somebody. She's like, oh my God, this totally clicks. He's part of my future. He's supposed to be the one. If this is a connected story to the message for today's topic for the 11th of May, then what I would say is, because the King of Cups was a primary character in that one, I would say that this could certainly be connected, but he is petting the chaos hippo here. So he is in the Egyptian pantheon, or Egyptian mythology as a whole. They looked at the hippo as the embodiment of chaos in the universe because it was this ferocious, dangerous and wild beast. And so here we have like this emotional king who's actually made peace with the chaos within himself, which to me says this definitely could be connected to that story from the 11th, but I don't know for sure. Let's just approach it like it's standalone. But we have a High Priestess who has either met a King of Cups and is saying, wow, he's my person. I see no reason that I wouldn't believe this when I have this recognition, this moment of, I don't know, does she observe him? He could be salt and pepper hair. He could have a really nice energy to him, a really calm energy to him. This is the Knight of Pentacles. But then we also have the Page of Swords. I don't love the fact that surrounding a king, we have such like paused energy, or her saying, wow, it's taken me a really, really, really long time to either come across the person that I think is the match for me, or it's taken me a long time where I've been waiting for him to not have any obstacles. I've been waiting for him to make peace with his chaos hippo. This feels like somebody who's been gathering information, but definitely like kicking it, playing, taking his time. And she says it's been a long time coming also. As much as I'm trying to make this story be a standalone and not be connected to the other one, I feel like I'm dealing with a whole nother layer of that other story from the 11th. So let's change it up a little bit and say, tell me how to interpret that Page of Swords. Lovers. Okay. Is this you keep spying on her? King of Cups, Two of Cups in the reverse. Or did you choose to say, maybe he was out trying to get with other lovers and postpone things with her. Queen of Swords sideways. Were you with another lover that you were learning like, oh yeah, this other lover's not my person? What's the deal with the Queen of Swords sideways? Was she partially a karmic that you were with? Magician sideways. Were you with another lover all this time? But the High Priestess is under the impression that, but he's my King of Cups. I remember him from a past life. He's my King of Cups. I've waited so long for him to realize that, but he's been over here exploring some other lover's connection, that one that he didn't even want to be with necessarily, but and one that is definitely not his Two of Cups. Working through some things with that Eight of Pentacles here. Okay, so we have what appears to be him working through some kind of karma with some other person who was most definitely not his Two of Cups. Let me ask this. Does the High Priestess recognize this? Is that what this boils down to? The High Priestess is like, oh my God, I get it. We have Palace of Coins. We have the Nine of Coins. I'm going to say that the High Priestess has actually come to a place of real peace within herself in this storyline, where she is aware that even if she's like, you know what, he could be my perfect partner. I have a weird deja vu moment. I do think that I half remember him from a past life or something, but it recognizing somebody could be important to me doesn't change the fact that I've been very successful on my own. I've created a great life for myself. I've created all kinds of stability for myself. I'm actually in a really good place, a really healthy, happy place. My palace belongs to me. I've got this Nine of Coins in it. She's holding it up, so she's very, very, very content. Okay, what does that mean? Here's what I'm going to say. I don't know that I would say this is connected to that other story from the 11th. This is like in a parallel universe to the storyline from the 11th, is how it feels to me right now. It's almost the same duo, but a little bit different. This is a slightly sideways story where this feminine has recognized that the masculine that she believes was a past life person, and then in this lifetime, there really is no blockage for them being together, at least on her side. But she seems to have been moving forward all this time and starting to see him as, wait a minute, he's a masculine that was one of the individuals I could have matched with very, very well. But he's been exploring and learning what he's needed to with some other person who was his karmic, who was a lover of his, who was someone that he wasn't really empowering himself or growing, but he's been learning that in the connection he'd been in, he wasn't growing with them. The connection wasn't growing together with them, but he personally that was part of what he was learning, if that makes sense. So is he growing? Yes. Is he growing into better understand, like, oh, you know what, me and my karmic person or semi-karmic person, that Queen of Swords. So he could have been with a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. He could be a Virgo or a Gemini himself. He strong energy on Gemini, which again makes me think about like parallel lives, just because Gemini is the twins. And it almost feels like we've got a storyline that is so similar but different to the one on the 11th. This is like another duo in another lifetime. But it feels like he's not making progress with a karmic that he's choosing to be with, but he's making personal progress on learning some things. Now, the High Priestess, the one he's not with, the High Priestess is aware of some of this, and she's also aware of her own personal growth and journey. Like, her life is really quite complete entirely. Now, let me go back to that Knight of Pentacles for her, because she's come to realize he's all this time, even though maybe she thought he was supposed to love me and be with me, we could have been so good together. See, she's been getting over this. She's been realizing that maybe her destiny was not with her. Maybe he could have been, but instead she's slowly been getting over him. She's slowly been getting to the point where she wants to hold back from him. She's slowly been realizing that she's been building a life without him, and that life without him is actually really amazing. And that maybe he was or is or always will be some person who belongs in the blueprint of her life, right? We see kind of the tree of life here. Those are what the plans are. But you notice she's got a whole other set of plans that she can unroll. I almost feel like he waffles in and out of her life in different lifetimes as different roles. In this lifetime, I don't even know that he's ready to be with a Two of Cups. She believed, why did you believe that he was the great King of Cups of your life? Justice card sideways. For a while, she was trying to say, he has to make things right with me. Okay, this definitely feels like past life stuff. Like she met him and she said, but this time, I mean, of course he's going to want to set things right with me. There's no way that he wouldn't, right? This time he's going to be really loving this lifetime, almost like he's done her wrong at some point in time. And she just couldn't quite wrap her head around the fact that what was perceived as an injustice would not be course corrected in this lifetime. But as she has slowly but surely been living her life without him, meanwhile, he's stayed very much in a connection with a lover that was not his Two of Cups, someone that he hasn't really been growing with that person at all, but he has been doing some other kind of evolution for himself. She too has been doing an evolution in herself. So let me put it this way, a high priestess, they know when there's a storm coming, but they don't know how much rain is going to fall. That's always the way I like to describe a high priestess. You know, when you have like an achy joint or something and you're like, oh man, my joint's aching. I can tell rain is coming. A storm front's moving in. But just because we know a storm front comes, we still can't tell where the rain's going to fall, how much it's going to be, how long the storm's going to last, right? The high priestess can only pick up on certain information, but not necessarily the specifics, because she deals with the murky world of empathic sensation of things, but not specific facts and details. So what she didn't realize is, oh, he indeed is somebody that is part of the blueprints of her life. But how does he play a role in her life? Well, it turns out she was supposed to learn just as much as him. And in this case, it was about herself moving onward. It was about herself saying, wait a second, why would I need him to come in and make anything right? My life is terrific without him. My life is wonderful. My home is amazing. My everything I've had. My lesson was to let him go. It wasn't, when is he going to make this right? I'm positive that in this lifetime, he's got to fix this. He's got to be able to make this right with me. No, her lesson in this lifetime was to let him go and realize her life is already amazing without him. And in fact, she has a whole nother blueprint, a whole nother life to open up for herself. So what does she get instead of him? Because I don't feel like we have a Four of Cups. When I say what does she get instead of him, she gets a chance to observe. Like, you notice that we have like this mermaid. So she's kind of mythical. So she's not really here, but she's able to see him in a whole different light, which is a huge gift for her to understand another person. Like maybe he's been rejecting or refusing to be in a really wonderful relationship with her because he's got his own stuff to deal with. And she's understanding that better. She's understanding regrets better. She's understanding illusions better. That's wonderful. Six of Wands sideways. She's also understanding more about pride and arrogance, including her own. And with her as the Queen of Cups upright, she is, I think, able to be so much more loving. I really think that whatever wound that this might have caused in her heart, the like waiting to say, but I'm sure that we're supposed to be together. How is it possible that he wouldn't be coming back to me? How is this even feasible? I mean, my story can't be read, like this, where, and then, I met him again in this lifetime. I knew that we were meant to be, but then he stayed with somebody else and he never came back to me. The end. How could that be my story? She's realizing that isn't her story. Her story is, I met him. I learned that there are things in this world that each character is working through. And I too was working through attachment. I had to let go of him to be happy. I had to let go of him. First off, realize I already am happy. I had to let go of trying to figure out how is it that he could possibly stay away and not end up with me. I had to understand things about pride and arrogance, and I had to learn that maybe I too had some things to like open my heart to and say, it's all right. Let me love my life. Let me be open to loving someone else. Let him also do what he needs to do. Because I loved him, let me let him go. Temperance sideways. Let me wish him peace as I release him. That was her thing. She's had to let him go, and she is now. We have a Page of Wands. Now she's on this new journey and she's excited again. This is her. We see the cat, so we know she's fully single at this point. We know this is a first step forward. I think she hasn't felt this light, this happy in a very, very, very long time. This is wonderful energy for our feminine. She's in a really good place. Here she is again as a High Priestess and a Page of Pentacles. She's in such a, like, oh my God, I learned it. I figured out the lesson. This was all so that I could start over. This wasn't about me waiting on him to sort himself out. This was my life story all along, my learning, my blueprints of learning to let go of attachment so that I can start new. This was my brand new springtime. Okay, that is amazing for her to like wrap her head around all this. And I think such a liberating message. This is completely, the storyline ends completely different than the other one, the one on the 11th. So I definitely feel like they're related and completely polar opposite endings. It all depends on which character is which, right? You know, this is for the storyline where she lets somebody go. The other storyline, she said, I needed partnership and he came in. This storyline, she says, oh my God, I needed to learn to let him go. Him, her, it doesn't matter. This could have always been same-sex couple, but we have the Strength card sideways. Where she goes next, I really think she's in this place where the High Priestess says, I don't have to have strength and courage to allow things to come toward me. I am in the energy of the feminine. I receive, I welcome in whatever is in my greatest and highest good. I don't have to force anything. That's not what I'm here for. I welcome in my Two of Cups, whomever they may be. She is really going to meet her Two of Cups now. And I do not believe it is him after all. Yeah, Five of Pentacles is in the upright here. So I have to say this as gently as possible. Her waiting for him to end something with another lover and come in and make things right with her, that was blocking her ability to actually meet the right person. The right person is now coming in toward her very suddenly. Knight of Wands, somebody who may just splash into her life in a very passionate way. This could be quite sudden. An Emperor sideways. It's somebody that she never had considered as an emperor. It's somebody that she didn't recognize could have even been an emperor. It may be someone that she would have blown off and been like, what? Oh no, that's definitely not the person for me. There's no way this person who's so attracted to me is going to be my person. Yes, she just hasn't been able to see anybody else in her future other than this individual that she waited on for quite some time, this individual that was not her Two of Cups. Her Emperor is somebody that she will possibly or has possibly ignored and thought that they were just some, like random person who was mildly flirtatious, but she never gave them a serious consideration. Ironically, that is her Two of Cups. So very interesting plot twist on this. She was clogging up her own ability to bond with the real Two of Cups for her because she was holding space for someone else that she believed was her Two of Cups. All right, I'm going to leave this one here. Actually, that was a lot of food for thought. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.